Grab your popcorn, kick back and relax, because it's time for some more Karnage. In today's video, we're going to have a bit of a real talk sort of a video. We're going to be looking at some operation stuff like that. So, a few things have happened. I left Anarchy Reigns, probably for good this time. I don't think I'll go back. But pretty much what happened was I just got bored, really. I got really bored and tired of the game, and I was in a bit of a bad way, and I was thinking about just hanging up shop and retiring from the game, which it sounds bleak, a lot more bleaker than what it was, but I know there's a big update that's supposedly coming sometime I think near Christmas, I think. Or that's just rumor mill anyway, but that's what we believe. So I felt like, you know what, I gotta get some more enjoyment in my game, enjoy the things more. So what I decided to do was I left Anarchy Reigns, and I wanted something a little more chill, where I could just have some more fun, just muck around sort of attacks, right? Where I'm not taking things too seriously, but seriously enough that I do a good job, right? So I was looking for a place to go, and I was like, you know what? CosmicDuo, right? He's like a really good guy. He's a pretty cool guy. I know his taskforce, from what I've seen in his videos, it looked like it needed help. Everyone was leaving all the time. Well, not all the time, but occasionally he'd have like a mutiny and people would leave. And it just seemed like he needed help. So I was like, you know what? Let's join CosmicDuo and have a bit of fun there. And that's a bit of a throwback to the old days where I was booming for reversal for anyone that was around back then. Because that actually was a thing. I was booming in his task force for quite some time. So yeah, I'm a part of the Rejects now. That's what they call themselves. They also have a feeder task force, and I'm a co-leader. And also to Jimmy, if he does watch my videos, I'm pretty sure he doesn't, but if he does, appreciate the promotion there, man. I was doing like some really crazy solos, and my intel's pretty solid too. Not the greatest, but I'm one of the higher intel earners of the team, so they decided to promote me based on that and how active I was in chat helping people. So you definitely have to earn your spot in this group. There's a bunch of grey players here. Some people worth noting. So let's look at some attacks. Let's get into this video. So you can see their attack log here. You can see they're doing Mambo, Powder Keg, Sour Grapes. Really struggling. Then I decided to join, and yeah, the Sour Grapes were the first one where it actually was successful, I think, is where I joined. And you can see, oh no, that wasn't me. Yeah, I joined after they failed Bottleneck. That was when I joined. So you can see that since then, the groups just went up and up and up, and we've been doing higher operations a lot more. That's not really a result of me, personally, but I think that's cool that since I joined, that the groups just went forward like leaps and bounds. And I haven't really done anything to like make that happen. That's just how it worked out, I guess. So for anyone that hasn't seen my video on critters on Commodore, that's what this attack was. So basically you drop your troops straight away on the left, you flare them up, and then you just let them go. You don't shock or medkit or anything like that. So at this point, you're just looking to take out some buildings. So I took out the machine guns because that gives me a really big opening at the back. Normally there's a lot of boom cannons on the right here, and those mortars are flamethrowers. But seeing as that wasn't the case, I took advantage of that, and I just GBE'd so much more than what I really had to. I didn't need to take out that much, to be perfectly honest, but I was like, you know what, why not? I have the GBE, so I did. I think I had, I think it was like 118%, or was it 116%? Because I have two maxed out gunboat energy statues, and I boosted both of them. So whatever that amounts to, I'll look at it after the attack finishes. So we'll just speed things up here. So you can see that my critters are doing some work. There's a pretty big dead spot in the back there, and they're just going to keep going. My troops cleared a lot, and you can see exactly how far they're getting right now. Actually, that Cryo RZM actually got further than what Hookah normally does, which is surprising. But yeah, that was Commodore with critters, if you've never seen that. That's my stats there, 118% gunboat energy. Figures. So, let's see if we can find some more cool attacks here. Was this the one with all the sliding blocks? No, it wasn't. Oh, that was my low point one. I mean, that was impressive, but it wasn't overly special. I'm trying to find. There was this like operation, and I don't expect you guys to know what it was, but it was. Oh, this attack was sick. Actually, go back. I want to show you guys the stats before I show you the attack. Sorry guys. It's just I want to be like consistent. Okay, so I got 86 troop damage, 64 troop health, 118 gunboat energy, and that's full boost with 5 offense statues. So you can see here, there's a shock launcher, a shock blaster, a boom cannon. There was a crazy amount of ice on this base. I think, if I recall correctly, the boom cannon, I think it was it. I'm not sure whether it was the boom cannon or the rocket, but one of them had like an extra 36 or 38,000 health. It was something like that. So there was a lot of ice on this base, and that's a part of what made it so cool. That my lack of offense, and I was able to do it. So you can see my technique here for getting past those boom cannons. I basically just drop a critter box and keep those buildings distracted, and then I drop 1 or 2 smokes, whatever I feel is necessary to get out the way. I didn't time the critter box very well because I got hit by the boom cannons initially, which is unfortunate, but I'm just letting my Scorchers plow through those 2 buildings just to give my tanks a bit more time to catch up. So we'll speed this attack up right now. So you can see pretty much the same principle. I flared back just so my troops were a little bit more grouped up. I don't want my Scorchers taking any more hits than what they really need to be. So my tanks are coming down. They're going to take out those rockets. But right now my biggest problem is going to be this boom cannon that I'm approaching. Without as much offense as what... Like, if I had more offense it'd be fine, but it just does so much damage. And I need those Scorchers alive. Because when I get to the core, that shock launcher is going to be focusing on the Scorchers, not my tanks. Then my tanks can do work on the core. That's why I don't use tank medic on this base. Because I can use the shock launchers to focus on the Scorchers. And actually, to be honest, I would have preferred the layout to have 4 shock launchers. Because those snipers just lay into your Scorchers and it just does work. You can see that the shock blaster is also doing a great job of killing me. The 4 flamethrowers you'd think would be more deadly than the shock blaster, but apparently not. That shock launcher's killed two Scorchers in the time that four flamethrowers and a cannon did, so that's pretty nuts. But anyway, that was a solo. You can see that was pretty close. I don't think I would have survived for too much longer there, but I hope you guys enjoyed that. And hopefully... Oh, this is Christian's attack. This was actually pretty cool. He had a crazy amount of gunboat energy. I think he full boosted like 5 or 6 gunboat energy statues. So you can see the base here. We've taken out... those 2 rockets. Just there. That's all that's really happened. Ah, there's his troops. I was trying to figure out where he was deploying. I couldn't remember whether he went left or right. Because on this base, and this is something I noticed about this task force, And I'll raise it with Christian when I see him next. Christian is CosmicDuo's actual name. There's two people in that run that account, Jimmy and Christian. And Christian's the one that has the account called Fusion. I'm gonna bring it up with him because because I was doing the note for this base, and there's a hot pot there. Yeah, when I did the note for this base, I said for everyone to go right, because there was less threats to deal with, and it was much easier to smoke around to get past the shock blasters and the shock launchers and stuff. So all you have to do is go to the top here, maybe like 3 smokes, and you'd get to the corner. And the only threats you had to face along the way was 4 rockets. So that's what I said for them to do. They completely ignored it, and I was just like, man. And there was actually an attack yesterday where I said to save the base because there was a high level player that wanted to load up some troops to solo a base. I said for them to leave it, and literally every person on load point just completely ignored the note and just attacked it anyway. So the group does have its issues, but I mean, it's still a really good group to be a part of. Despite that, I'm still enjoying myself. You guys know me. Usually when people start jumping other people's attacks, I usually just walk up and leave straight away. But I don't know, this group feels different. I don't feel like that's something I should be concerned about here. And I don't know why that's different, but why I feel that way about this place and not anything else. That's the one we were just watching. Oh, I must have lost the footage for that. Oh, that's disappointing. Did he solo Paradox? No, he didn't. Where's my attack? Ah, my Mercury one. I'll watch my one. Our current operation actually had a fair few cool attacks on it, actually. And I'll show you guys some of them. Kraft actually did a really amazing attack on sliding block. And that was sort of what I wanted to show you guys. You can see these boom cannons actually did so much to me. There's a boom cannon back there taking my medics apart. You can see what I mean? Like, I am just losing medics like crazy. And I'm like hoping my tanks would kill it. But these 2 boom cannons are just picking off shots on my guys. And I'm like, please, just fire at them. And at the time I did this attack, I was so pissed. I was actually yelling at the screen a little bit. I was like, please just kill it. So I got up to the top here, got a bit of cells, placed some smokes on my medics because, I mean, my medics have been dealing with a lot through this attack and the last thing they need is a sniper hitting them. So I finally got my medics behind my troops again. And I'm running out of time on this attack. I had 3 seconds left at the end. But I knew if I cleared this, hopefully some of the low level players would actually be able to attack it. That's something that's sort of, it's not annoying, but I mean, low level players, when they don't watch replays, well, not all of them, but some of them don't watch replays. So when I do an attack and I open up a dead spot on the base, they don't actually watch my attack to look at where I was. And so they like basically just start clearing defenses they didn't have to clear. They could have just went to the kill spot and killed it. So you can see I've let my troops spread out a lot. That was just to clear some of the defenses that were going to be hitting me. So you can see my tanks have grouped up here. They're going to be picked off by these boom cannons. But not all of them. A couple of them will get hit, but most of them should be safe. And this is where, like, you need those medics. If I had my full 15 boats of medics, I could be hit by as many of these things as I want. Rockets, mortars, whatever. That out-heal it so easily. But right now I'm getting worn down. Not much, but slowly I'm getting worn down. So the start really hurt me. It hurt me so much more than what I would have liked to have admitted there. But you can see we're getting the job done here. Grinding away, and bam, there we go. So that was another cool attack. Let's see if I can find some by someone else, other than myself. So, this is the current operation. There was a lot of cool stuff at the start. Was that... I think it was him. Yeah, it had to have been him. Icket. Yeah, this is the attack. This was a really good opener too, actually. And I'll just 4 times this. So you can see he's getting hit by so many rockets. His medic's got into a lot of danger. And he's just keeping everything shocked. I feel like there was a more efficient way of getting his troops up there without shocking so much. But I mean, picky, right? Like, there's always something you can pick at on an attack. And it's easier to say it, like, afterwards. But sometimes, like, you just get yourself into that situation and it's like, you know, you don't really know your way out of it. You just have to sort of fight your way out and sort of wing it as you go. So, his goal here was really to take out some of the rockets, or all of the rockets if he could, and the shield generators. By taking out the shield generators, he makes it so much easier of a kill. By taking out the rockets, he opens the base up so well for other attackers. And this is pretty much just clearing at this point. So, the cell's distracting a lot of tanks for a while, and that hurt for a while. But gave him the GBE to just artillery and barrage those 4 rockets. So, you can see that the shield is almost gone. Yeah, there we go. So you can see how much health is gone from this. That's such an easy kill now. 1 barrage and maybe an artillery will take out those 3 rockets. So much easier of a kill. So great job to him. Let's see. My attack on circuit board. I was unboosted, 59% gunboat energy, 32 troop health, 32 troop damage. Accidentally placed my medics first because my loadout was on the reverse order from what I normally do it. Just trying to save some diamonds because I diamond finished my troops, and I had Scorcher tanks loaded, and my tank medic loadout that's already pre-saved has like the tanks on the opposite end, so yeah, I just had to do it manually, and that's how they wound up happening. But this attack really irritated the shit out of me. I mean, I did well, and you guys will see that with the amount of statues I had, I did really well. So at this point, I knew I didn't have a lot of gunboat energy left, so I flared that boom cannon just to make sure it dies before the thing runs out. So now it doesn't matter, I don't have to shock things. That shock launch is really the only thing I have to kill at this point. So I'll probably let my tanks kill a few more buildings, just so my medics aren't going to be dealing with too much danger when I flare it. So now, I flare it, and we're just going to let them kill it. I was a little worried about the flamethrower. I didn't scout how much damage it really did, so I was worried it might kill off some of my troops. That boom cannon got a shot in behind the HQ. Laser beam, I don't really worry about laser beams. Even though they run through and they hurt your medics, they're really just useless. Like, unless you're running Zookas, Hookah, or RZM, then you've got to worry, because it'll hit your Zookas pretty easily. You've just got to pick where your heavies are sitting, really. But yeah, I'm sitting at the core now. I'm out of range of the boom cannon in the back, the cannon on the left, and I'm only dealing with 2 rockets. With that laser beam actually is causing me a little bit of strife. Without that laser beam, I could have dealt with like 4 rockets, or maybe even 6. But you can see how much work I did here. I'm grinding away. If I had boosted my troop damage, I could have got it. I think it had... How much health did it have? I think it had like 1.6 million. So I mean, for my statues, I did a good job. But what annoys me about what I did is look at how many attacks it took to finish after that. One attack, and then I got annoyed for a long time, and then I got attacked again and soloed, which I guess isn't as bad as what I recall it being, but there was there was so many wasted attacks. Crap. I don't remember. There was like an operation base. One of the bases we attacked just had like a ton of like bad attacks on it. Maybe that was last operation. I don't even remember. But yeah, one of these bases, it just had like a crazy amount of like wasted attacks, and a heap of low level players basically just attacked it and just went from like this side and then a bit on that side, and it was just so uncoordinated and awful. But anyway, enjoying myself here at CosmicDuo's Task Force. A great bunch of guys. If you want to join, definitely feel free to. We're normally pretty full up here, so I mean he does clear some of the inactive players, I think, on a Saturday. So that's like Saturday over in America. I'm not sure what time zone he's in, but he does it on Saturday normally. So if you see like an opening, just request to join, and if I'm on, I'll accept you, or I'm sure someone else will accept you. But anyway, that was the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.